Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Are you there? Mark Atwood here. How's it going? You good? How many have we got on? Let's have a look. No comments. No people yet. I'm waiting for the Venus twins to turn up, and I just got to change my microphone. Here we go. Done. Right. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. I just watched a really good interview with David Nino Rodriguez and Benjamin Fulford. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Benjamin Fulford. I've been following him for years. Must be 10 years at least. And there's a lot of talk about things happening around the 24th of September. That's going to be very interesting. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, and I've decided that I'm just going to live my life, and I'm just going to take one day at a time, and I'm going to travel the world, and I'm just going to carry on as if nothing is bothering me, because we can't live in fear, can we? Living in fear is not good. And I went to Morocco last week or a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, it was a little bit like there was a bit of anxiety, a little bit of anxiety, but I pushed through it. And I think that's really important that we push through fear and anxiety, because we are incredibly powerful. Just going to see who's here. Hello, Christina Cleveland from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Never been there. New Scotland or New Israel. Maybe you should change the name. Aslan55. Help, Mark. Help. Do you mean hello? There's not a lot I can do over the computer. Sofia Carvalho. Hello from Portugal. Hola. I'm not sure how to say it in Portuguese. Danielle E. Clap, clap, clap. Hello. Kay Rankin. Hello from Aberdeen. Love Scotland. Jasmine Olivia Rose. Good morning, Mark. Hello, Jasmine Olivia. How are you? Grand Rising. Yeah, people are saying Grand Rising. Good morning. I know. I get it. I'm still saying good morning. I mean, it's hard to break a habit of 53 years, isn't it? Without sounding like a wally. Kryto Knight. Hi, brother from another mother. Yeah. That's cool. I don't know who you are, but I like that. Louise, hi Mark. Hello, Louise with no O. Magic Marie, just saw that interview too. Yeah, it's a good interview. BenjaminFulford.net is a really great resource. It's very interesting with him. I was following the story about the Chinese bonds, right? There were these bonds, trillions of dollars of bonds owned by the Dragon family, this is basically an Asian alien secret society. Back in 2010, I think. In fact, I was on holiday in Portugal when I was reading about this. No, hang on. It was about 2011. My twins were about 1 year old. And, I followed this story for ages with Benjamin Fulford, and these bonds were being tracked all over Europe. And this is when I first heard about the humanitarian projects. There were supposed to be 220 massive humanitarian projects that were ready to go. And these bonds, which had been used to fund the building of America in the 1890s, early 20th century, and the cabal had basically not paid them back, and they wanted to cash them in, and they were massive value. And I followed the story for ages. And then I moved to Marrakesh in 2014, and I met this guy, and over a few drinks, I was telling him the story about these bonds, and he was listening to me going, And then he said, "You are joking." I went, "Joking about what?" He said, "I am the broker." I went, "What?" And he was the Dragon family's broker. And he showed me a picture on his phone of these $1 trillion bonds. And I'd moved in next door to him. That's how crazy this life is. So I knew it was real. And I spent the next couple of years listening in on conversations, phone calls of these bonds being, them trying to cash in these bonds. And so I knew it was all real. And then when I first went on the Charlie Ward show, he knew it was real, and which confirmed that he knew things to me, which is why I kind of stuck by him all this time. So yeah, very, very interesting. BenjaminFulford.net. I think he charges a monthly subscription to read all of his stuff, but his stuff's really fascinating. And yeah, he's talking about, but there's a lot of talk about the imminent crash. I think the funeral on Monday is going to be really interesting. You know, the Queen's funeral. Yeah. I mean, getting all those snakes in the same pit at the same time, wouldn't it be great? I think it was Alex Collier put out a video the other day saying it'd be amazing if Diana turned up there with all the world's cameras on. And somebody else said about, wouldn't it be funny if Biden tripped up and his mask fell off? And we all had to see it. I mean, it's all a bit fantastical. Probably nothing will happen. You know, that's what happens with this war. You get worked up about a date and then nothing happens. But it's a lot of fun sort of thinking about what could happen. I remember doing a video with Charlie Freak about 18 months ago, and he talked about this Scooby-Doo moment where everybody just took all their masks. If it wasn't for you meddling kids. And I thought that would be quite amusing. I mean, the whole thing's amusing. If it wasn't for the fact that people are dropping dead, it would be really funny. I found out last night that 2 people around here just dropped dead. And nobody's piecing it together, obviously. And that's happening a lot. In fact, when I was in Morocco for 10 days, I noticed a huge amount of ambulances. In fact, I lived in Morocco for 4 years nearly. And I remember seeing maybe 2 or 3 ambulances in the whole time I was there. The other day I was there, I saw 4 in like 3 hours, which to me is an indicator. Although I did also learn that a lot of the Moroccans refused this because you know, they have a massive distrust of those guys, which was great to hear. Magic Marie just saw that interview too. Yeah, it's good. Avis Senior, hi from Spalding, UK. Hi, Avis. Can I hire a car? Maggie Messenger, Auckland, New Zealand. Got to go to New Zealand, never been. Got a few friends there, I'd like to go. Bianca from Orkney, hi Orkney. Tanya Chambers, hello Tanya, how are you? Going to see you in Manchester, I think. That Manchester event sold out in days. I couldn't believe it. It's really, I'm looking forward to that. But I'm going on tour to the States next week for 35 days. That's a long time to be in the States, especially on the front line. If anything kicks off, it's going to happen there, isn't it? Mama Bear, hi from Scotland. Yeah. Laura Z, hi from Michigan. How you doing? Danielle E, probably nothing. All dates predicted so far have fallen flat. Yeah, pretty much. That's why I try not to do dates. But it's interesting to see other people speculating about it. I mean, it's kind of if you do speculate about something and it comes true, you're a god. If you speculate about it and it doesn't come true, then you're eating humble pie. Hi, Roisin. How you doing? I just subscribed to your YouTube channel, Roisin. I didn't know that you had one. I had a good look at that. What does my shirt mean? Jill Warsall. Can you read it? Apocalyptimist. It means, in the face of the apocalypse, I'm an optimist. Yeah, apocalyptimist. It's not my phrase. I was looking it up yesterday, actually. Somebody came up with it, I think, in 2014, first of all. I heard it last year, and I've been using it ever since. And Sorha, who's been on my show, made these T-shirts for me, so I quite like this. Apocalyptimist. I might wear it to a party later and see if people ask me what it means. Maggie C. 24th of the 9th is the 9th of the 11th in the Julian calendar. Okay, 9/11. Yeah, that is interesting. Eva Fabian. I see 9/11 a lot. It's one of those numbers like 144, 9/11, 444, 222, 111, 4 ones. See all those numbers all the time. Eva Fabian, greetings from California, Communistfornia. Yvette G, I'm going there on Wednesday. Last time I was there, I was driving a Mustang soft top, and I remember smoking a fag and throwing it. I know it's not good, but I threw it out, and some woman pulled up to me in a massive 4x4 and said, "Hey, buddy, pick that cigarette up." I thought she was going to shoot me. Very different to England. People just go, they just tut at you in England. Really? I was a bit naughty. Janelle D, g'day from Australia. Quite so nice. Hi from the Netherlands. Morgan here. Hi, Morgan. How you doing? Michelle French from Australia. Jeremy Fincher from Johannesburg, South Africa. Still got to go there. It's amazing. Over the 2 years lockdown, or not being able to travel much, I did a list of countries that I've not actually been to, and it's much bigger than I thought. I thought I was a world traveler, but there's loads of places I haven't been. So I'm gonna when this is over, well, even now, I'm just gonna travel. I'm just traveling. There's so many places I want to go to. Gene, because if you're stuck in one country, you become a slave to that country and the system. So you get the system. When I moved here, you register for this, you register for that, and you do all these things just sort of like automatically. But then you're in the system. And I thought Andrew Tate was very interesting. He's a divisive character. My son brought him to me and said, "Dad, you got to watch Andrew Tate." And I watched him, and I was like, "Wow, this guy's red pilling a lot of people, millions of people." And I think he's part of the white hats, to be honest. And and he was coming out with some stuff about women that was upsetting my daughter in particular. Oh, I've got a label here. And I tried to sit down with her to go through. There was a great video of Andrew Tate with a room full of women. I think it was about 4 hours long, when he was sort of discussing the roles of men and women. And they're all really angry with him at the beginning, but then he kind of won them over by the end. And I thought it was really interesting because my daughter was going, "I need a career," and I was like, "What do you want a career for?" I needed. My son said to me, "I've got to do my exams because I've got to get a job." I'm like, "What do you want a job for?" Set up a business. This is what I keep trying to tell everybody. Everybody's got a business inside them. Do you want to go and work for a slave wage? No. I mean, look, jobs need doing, and if the job fits you, great. But the kids really get brainwashed into this idea of a job and then a mortgage and this whole hamster wheel bollocks. It's just a farm. Remember, we're living in a farm. We get farmed, and we are self-slaughtering sheep. We get put. We're a farmer's wet dream because we just do what we're told, and we just keep doing it. So anyway, back to Andrew Tate. He said he doesn't own any property. He said, and somebody asked him why, and he said, because as soon as you own a property, you are, the state. If you piss off the government in that country, they can just take it away from you. This happened to my friend Jeremy Ayres. He built a property in New Zealand, and then they basically chased him out of the country and took his property away, which he built himself. They just took it off him. So, you don't really own your property. Even when you've got a mortgage, even when you've paid off your mortgage, it's not really your property. It belongs to the people who own the land, which in the case of Ireland is the Queen of England or whoever replaced her a long time ago, because I think she might have been dead more than 10 years, actually. I know it's at least 2. I had a good interview yesterday with a couple of really good, nice guys in the States, and one of them, a guy called Jason, said he had information directly from people associated with Q, and he told me yesterday that this was quite funny, actually. He told me that dragonflies are starseeds undercover. And as he said it to me, excuse me, I'm a bit snotty. As he said it to me, I was like, that's really weird, because in the last 2 weeks, I have noticed tons of dragonflies. Have you guys, leave in the comments if you've seen loads of dragonflies around you? Apparently that's starseeds protecting us. And this was intel. Nothing would surprise me. Nothing would surprise me. I mean, I was on the coast of Morocco last week, and there's a young lad there I met, 15 years old, and he showed me videos of ships. He'd seen tons of ships. And when he had a really good camera. When he did a close-up on them, they were clearly Merkabahs, the ships that he was taking pictures of. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the comments. There's loads here. Whoa, it's hundreds. No, Rodney Barstow. I know I'm seeing loads of crows and black jays. Yeah, me too. I've just seen a load of starlings along with the jays and the crows here in the garden. Does the US allow Sarah Devine? I'm not going to answer that question. And there's a lot of good reasons why I'm not going to answer that question. Do your own research. And if you want to look, all I say to you is if you want to get somewhere, you can. You just got to use your own intuition. Christina Cleveland, not dragonflies, but lots of ravens again, flying around my house and landing on the wires out front my window. Yeah, I mean, animals, I first got into this idea of the spiritual significance of animals years ago. I remember one day there was a white dove that was parked outside my bedroom window for 2 weeks back in 2015, and it was so obviously out of place. And why was it outside my window? So what I'd say to everybody is, if you ever notice an animal not behaving normally, then go and type in spiritual significance of ... whatever the animal is, and you'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot. Oh, Claire says she doesn't have the link to the show. I've sent it to you 3 times, Claire. There you go. I've just sent it to you again. If you're watching, I've just sent it to you again. Yeah, I'm waiting for Claire and Georgia from the Venus Twins. Yeah, I know, Yvette. I've already sent them the link 3 times. They're just not seeing it for some reason. Tanya Chambers, exactly my agree, Queen and property. I sold my house 2017. I went to Thailand on the profit. LOL, freedom. Brilliant. Brilliant. A white dove parked would be out of place. Yes. AAPI. Ravens and crows, I think is the same bird. Well, yeah, there are. I think there's a difference between ravens and crows. I've seen different. There's a couple of different types here in Ireland. There's a particular one that's like black and grey, which I think is a raven. I have a blue-tongued lizard in my yard, showed up last week. Maggie, see, where are you? Blue-tongued lizard. What was her name? Elizabeth. Right, I'm just going back to Claire and Georgia, and I'm going to have to send it to them again. I don't know why they're not seeing this link. Yeah. Did it, Maggie? Melbourne. Hello, Melbourne. How's it going there, Melbourne? Yeah, well, that's where the Venus Twins are. I'm going to ask them that in a minute. That's where the ship apparently is. The Enterprise. Yeah, the guys I was talking to yesterday were also talking about what's his name? Valiant Thor. And I got these books. I got these books recently. I Am Thyron, Craig Campobasso. The extraterrestrial saga Walking Thyron, book 2 of the trilogy. I love Douglas Adams. Remember that book 5 of the trilogy, The Hitchhiker's Guide? He knew a lot, Douglas Adams. He knew a lot. Yeah, so this series of books by Craig Campobasso, I haven't read them yet, but they are very, very interesting. And the reason I found these is after I spoke to the Venus Twins the first time, they told me about Valiant Thor. So I went and did a lot of research on him, and I read a chapter out of one of his books. But apparently, according to Craig, so Craig I found because he's directed a short film based on the Valiant Thor book called Stranger in the Pentagon, and you can find it on Vimeo, and it is worth watching. It's pretty cool. He's a Hollywood casting director and film director, and I got in touch with him, and I was supposed to interview him about 6 weeks ago, but I can't remember why, but I think it was when my son was ill. I had to cancel a load of interviews, but I'll be getting on to him. Maybe I'll look him up in California next week. But yeah, I wanted to get him on because he said that Valiant Thor didn't write any of the books he was supposed to have written. So I'm just gonna check this link again and send it to them again. I really don't know why they aren't seeing this. I think I have them on the phone. Let me just see if I can message them directly. Claire, I've just emailed it to you twice, 3 to 4 times. What? Check your email. It's a StreamYard link. Yeah? Come on, Claire. Click the link. I can see it here. Come on, Venus Twins. Who is Valiant Thor? Says high vibes with Dahlia. Well, Valiant Thor is a man from Venus who came down in a flying saucer to Earth to help President Eisenhower. And he got to the White House. Apparently he didn't have any fingerprints, and he had 2 hearts. Sorry about my phone. And they took him to the White House, and they basically gave him a room in the Pentagon for quite a long time. So I'm just reading the links. That's a good question about Tesla and Valiant Thor. And they put him in the Pentagon, and he was there, and he was trying to give them information to create peace, but then the cabal got hold of him, tortured him, and he stayed for about 5 years, I think. And anyway, the Venus twins told me that he was my dad, my space dad. I do take these things with a pinch of salt, and I'm not saying that they're wrong. It's just that I've got no evidence, although it does kind of, I do feel connected in somehow because I came across him about 10 years ago. There are Stu Gradwell. Yeah, there are pictures of Valiant Thor. You can look him up. He was a real person. And anyway, he worked closely with a couple of guys. I can't remember the name of the guy. I'm looking for the book because I think it's in my bedroom. He worked closely with a couple of guys, and these books came out. And what was interesting about The Stranger at the Pentagon is really interesting, which tells the story of his story. The one I read was something to do with fantastic beings and how to contact them. And it's worth going and reading the books. But in the middle of one of that book, there was a chapter, I can't remember, I think it was on page 33, where they were talking about somebody going on about MAGA was not to be trusted and all of that. And I was like, it's just, we're living in a time war, timelines collapsing loop system where mediums and psychics and people are getting information from different dimensions, different timelines and all that. That's why it's all so confusing. And everything's being sifted right now. And there's a lot of ego going on. And there's a lot of all this mixture. Just, don't listen to me. Don't have a guru. Don't listen to anybody unless you just, take what resonates and don't get too bogged down in it. Kind of like float through it if you can. I always have this image of, there was this video. I think the video was from, I think it was called I Goats 3, something like that. And it was an image. It was like a cartoon image of Jesus on a boat going through the storm, and the whole world's crashing around him, and he's just there with his third eye glowing, just chilling. And that's what I think we've all got to do, is just kind of like, just chill. We'll get to the other side of this. Rodney Barstow, any advice on who to contact with consciousness work? I'm looking for someone who can guide. Well, I've got a channel full of people that you can contact with consciousness work. It depends what you want to do. If it's healing that you need, I've got tons of great healers on this. Come on the Morocco retreat. By the way, the Morocco retreat, yeah, we've sold about 15 tickets to that. The link is below this. Well, probably not below this video. It's definitely on my Telegram channel. And I'm going to do a live later today with some of the fantastic people that we've got coming to Morocco. We've got Ian Welch and his wife. We've got, who's a great healer as well. We've got Lucy Davis. We've got Abby Wynn. We've got Anya, who was on my show the other day. iPet Goat 3. Thank you, Christina Cleveland. That's it. I was close. Yeah, and some other people. It's going to be an amazing spiritual, healing, fun UFO type retreat. Mark's Cosmic Retreat. It's not cheap. I'm sorry, it's not cheap. I can't make it any cheaper. It's bloody expensive to put this on. You got to get to Marrakesh. We have a 2-day trek in 4x4s. We're all the way down to the Sahara Desert, which is a big journey, but it's a great journey. And the 5 nights under the stars in a luxury camp, you'd be waited on hand, and for all food and drink except alcohol is included. And it's just going to be, it's a life-changing trip. I know lots of people who've done this Sahara retreat before, not with me, because obviously it's much better with me. But it's life-changing. And if you go on the sales page, you'll see lots of videos and testimonials from people that have done this before. My friend runs this camp in Morocco, and it was a total accident. My daughter was nagging me to go to Morocco about 2 months ago, and I was like, okay, yeah, we can go on holiday there, because she wants to go back and see where we used to live and stuff like that, because she's not been anywhere for 3 years like most people. And I was sat there in the cafe going, yeah, well, if I go there, if I'm going all the way to Morocco, I might as well stay there for a bit longer and catch up with some friends. In fact, maybe there's a retreat going on. And then I looked it up, and I was like, excuse me, I looked up the retreat, and I was like, hang on a minute, why don't I run a retreat? So that's how it happened. I don't answer personal questions like that. You know, my personal life is my personal life, and who I'm talking to and I'm not talking to is nobody's business. Okay, so that's the answer to that one. I just still don't understand why these girls are not clicking on the link. Claire and Georgie, if you're watching, I've emailed you this link 5 times now. Just click on it and come into the studio. I'm waiting for you to come to the studio. Anytime you want to know about your cosmic suit, Mark. Is that Tony? Is that to do with the fingerprints? Yes, I would like to speak to you. Email me and let's get you on the show, because all the answers are in the fingerprints. I've seen all your comments about that. Okay, click and cliggle. Good, thank you. We don't need to go there. There's no need to be personal about anybody or anything. Okay, life is what it is. You know, I didn't plan to be a public figure. It wasn't the plan. I didn't do this for that reason. But you know, we're all entitled to our own privacy, is my opinion. And talking about other people, I just don't want to go there, because it's just, you know, why would you do that? It's sick, really. I think it's sick. Georgie, no. Claire, let's look at Claire. No, I know you're in my phone. I can't find you in my phone. Why can't you click on the link? I don't get it. You haven't received a link. Okay, I'll go to this email. Right, here's the link again. StreamYard.com. It's there. Oh, here they are. Hello. 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 Is that us? Yeah. I've just sent you the link 6-7 times. Hello. Hi, Mark. It's Georgie. Hello. Yeah. I've just sent you the link 6-7 times. Okay. You've now got it in WhatsApp, so I'll see you in a minute. Oh God. I just got a message saying that somebody else just dropped dead. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, look, I've sent them the link now on WhatsApp, email. Come on, guys. Just click the link. Any chance you could get Jeanette Archer on for another chat? Yeah, well, I messaged Jeanette last week, because after the witch died, after she officially died, I just sent Jeanette a little message saying about bleeding time. I mean, Jeanette will come on when she's ready. I don't force anybody to come on. But I would like to speak to her at some point, but seeing her die just seeing her on the can you imagine, right, going through what Jeanette went through, knowing who this person was and then seeing everybody waving flags at her on the street. I mean, just unbelievable. And then there was that guy in Scotland the other day, I've mentioned this before, who was shouting at Andrew, you paedophile, right? And rightly so. And then all the public are throwing him away and they're arresting him, and it's like, what world do we live in? Honestly, these people that have protected these people, I'm talking to you, police people, ignorance is no defense anymore. I had a Queen's Commission. I was very proud of it. It was like signed by Queen Elizabeth, commission in the RAF Officers Commission. And I was really, really proud of it. I used to salute the TV when the national anthem came on, when there was nobody else in the room. That's brainwashing. That is brainwashing. Yeah, anyway. Should send the cosmic invite to Valiant Thor. What's the worst that could happen, Rodney? Yeah. Well, I think I've kind of spoken to them. I call in the ships most nights. And yeah. Shelley, yeah. Thank you. Jeanette is absolutely incredible. She's one of the bravest people I've ever met. And then people, I got involved with all this SRA stuff years ago, and when people were talking about the well, initially I first found out about it through the Holly Gregg case. If you haven't looked that up or heard about the Holly Gregg case, there was an amazing man, Robert Greene was his name, a real gentleman, but a stalwart warrior. And he, you know, I used to write to him. I met him once. I met him actually at the David Icke event in Wembley about, I don't know, 12 years ago. And I shook his hand, and I got such a buzz from shaking his hand. And he was just amazing. This Holly Gregg case was horrific. It was a disabled girl whose father and brother it was basically a big paedophile ring in Scotland. And her mother tried to escape, and he was trying to get publicity for her case and make more people aware of it. And he ended up getting arrested illegally. The police came down from Aberdeen at 2 a.m. in his house was in Cheshire, and they just took him and his computer, and then they did a kangaroo court up in Aberdeen, and then put him in prison for 2 years and denied him his medication, and eventually he died. And you know, this is part of what inspires me to do what I've been doing, because there are people that have come before people like me who've just done incredible and given their lives so that our consciousness can raise to the level it needs to raise to. We stand on the shoulders of giants. You know, everybody watching this, go and read David Icke's books. Start with The Biggest Secret. Just, it's all there. You know, one of the reasons why I don't do sort of intel on this channel is because, they're here at last. Bloody hell. One of the reasons I don't do intel on this channel is because it's already out there. All the intel's already out there, you know. Intel makes me laugh. Right. It's already out there. All the intel's already right. Turn your YouTube off.
Echoes.
Right. Right.
G'day.
Turn your YouTube off.
So sorry, this has just been an absolute
right.
Hello.
What? Hello, darling. How are you?
Nightmare.
How bleeding time.
Nightmare.
That's
Can't
all right.
quite hear you, doll.
I've just had to ad lib for half an hour. Bloody hell.
You did so well. We were watching and having heart attacks. Is yours all right? Mine was about in here. I'm thinking and speaking to you through the chat. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being so patient.
I know, it's all good. Everything's as it's meant to be.
Yeah. Maybe we're supposed to get our blood pumping like that.
Hang on, I'm just going to answer AAPI. I thought Dragonflies was your intel. No, I just shared the fact that he's told me that, and I thought it was quite funny. It wasn't really intel, was it?
Thank you.
You're so good at ad-libbing and talking.
Zar Shay says Mercury retrograde. Do you know what? I'm sick of that
that's
excuse.
what it is.
I'm sick of that excuse. It's an excuse.
We just need
How do we do that? How on earth are we on this channel? You should have seen us. There's like two people trying to send a rocket ship into space with very little luck.
Yvette G says I need to work on my jokes.
What?
My jokes are great. Anyway, how are you
Have
going?
Got any fun questions tonight, Mark? Up your sleeve?
What, for you guys?
Yeah.
Well, I left it to Telegram and I sent you the link.
There's some fabulous questions on there.
We thought you could read them out for us, the ones you want to pick. Do you want to do
Yeah,
that?
you can hand pick them.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just,
You'd like to do it like that.
Yeah.
There's some beauties and there's some really, really good ones there. Who's going to start? Who's the least rattled? The least rattled. Probably you.
I will. All right. You haven't seen us in action doing this, have you, Mark?
No, I haven't. I've been very busy. Anyway, while I'm looking for these, how's life? What's been going on? Give us an update first.
It's been full on. It's been really exciting, really good. We're meeting some incredible people all over the world, and really we've discovered that 99% of them are Zenae beings like you and like us. So we're really meeting our tribe, our family, and it's been fantastic. And we're talking about, we think we should head to the Maldives next year and just have a big family reunion. What do you think?
I'm coming.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
That's top of my daughter's list. The Maldives.
Yeah, it's up there on ours too. So
yeah,
we thought
I know some of the
in the center of the world, perfect for everyone to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
I know some of the hotel owners there.
Oh, do you?
Brilliant. It's coming together already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've
I've
been
done
working.
I did a lot of work down in Mauritius before all this happened. With some of the big hotel companies down there, and they've got really amazing places in the Maldives, like these wooden huts on stilts in the water. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, with the slide going
Magnificent.
down and everything. Yes, I've dreamed and looked at them for quite a few years now. So there you go.
The slide going down.
Yeah, into the water.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Into the
yeah.
sharks.
Yeah, you heard it there first. So these Zenae people from Zenae, what's what kind of? I mean, you told me that I was the son of Valiant Thor, right? And I keep telling people I take it with a pinch of salt, right?
Sure.
Not because I'm dissing you in any way. Just do you know what I'm really worried? What really worries me about this whole movement is that you get told all sorts of stuff. You know?
Sure, yeah.
I get emails from people saying that they're Jesus, and I get emails from people. I get messages from people saying that they're Kali the Destroyer and stuff like that. And I'm like, I have to take it all with a pinch of salt because not because I'm not 5D, but because you can't let your ego get in the way in this work. You know, there's a lot of people doing this work who have become gurus despite my best advice. And it's like, you don't want to be a guru and you don't want to be making claims about yourself. So that's why I do it like that.
Totally agree. And it's just to enjoy the information and see what you get from it and not to become attached to it. And, you know, that's exactly what you're saying. And
it took me down a really interesting path, and I got to meet Craig Campobasso, who's the guy who directed Stranger in the Pentagon, the movie, the short film. And he's written I just showed everybody. I don't know if you saw it, but he's written loads of books about this stuff. And and so every piece of information leads you to something more interesting, you know?
It does.
Yeah. Little springboards to other things and little heart openings.
Yeah. And well, there's been loads of that. I'm going through. I got told yesterday by a guy who I can't. His name's Jason. Anyway, he's been getting this direct information from people associated with Q, and he's been consistently right for a long period of time. He's a really nice guy, and he said that they did a checkup on me, and I was like, oh, really? and he read it out, and it said that I was doing all right. So I was quite pleased. So it was a bit of a because there's so much sniping going on around at the moment.
Oh, there's a lot of talk. A lot of our clients are coming in and they're asking us, is such and such, a good person, or is it they work for the dark? And we're like,
no comment.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's the way I am. I mean, I look at myself in the mirror every morning, which is a struggle, obviously. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. I know I'm good.
Yeah.
And I'm checking in, and I'm talking to the stars every night, and I'm checking, and I'm getting the information from them, and I'm grounding myself, and I'm doing my mantras, and I'm doing my affirmations, and I'm being kind to everybody that I meet, and I'm like, I can't do much more else.
And that's how we operate too, from our heart, in service to others as much as possible, and what people believe is up to them. What resonates with them will always be their own personal journey too, and we don't claim to know everything at all, do we, Claire? There's a lot we don't know. No. So we're just doing our best.
Yeah, with what, this new gig of ours, which is, was not something we planned at all. The beauty of it.
This is my full-time job now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's wonderful.
If you told me that 2 years ago, I'd be like, what? Are you serious?
Yeah, I lost my job as a nurse, and I was, cleaning houses. About, how long ago?
18 months or so.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
You were cleaning houses? I thought you were a world famous singer. What? Cleaning houses?
Well, singers have got to have a day job.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to go back to singing?
Yeah, I've actually just started. I recorded a song in the studio last night called Affirmations. It's all about love. And I'm getting back out there, starting a new little band, and just dipping the toe back in. I might send you one of my new songs.
Yeah,
She's also discovered that light language is one of her strengths as well, Claire. So it's all about the voice for Claire. and it's beautiful. She's done a healing on me with light language that was gorgeous, and we did an interview just a couple of days ago with an incredible girl. Her name's Pania, and she's a light language expert too, and one of our tribe. And Claire and her both did some light language in this interview, which is on our Patreon. People,
yeah, join our Patreon. We'd love to have you there, everybody.
So we've been doing lots of work for Patreon and putting lots of exciting stuff on there, and yeah, we've been keeping very busy.
That's great, because I'm like, I had Anya Lily on the other day, who's never done anything on YouTube, and she's like 25 or something, and she's one of us, and she just did a burst of song, and I was like, whoa, because there's the talent out there, and that's where, you know, once we've dismantled all this crap, everybody's going to want music like yours, and I'm excited about that, because you know, every time I hear music in a restaurant or something, I'm like, fucking hell, it's Elton John, get that paedophile off, or just turn it off, you know.
When are they going to retire that one? You know.
Right, so I'm looking at the questions in Telegram. I'll just run through. I'll just pull them out randomly, and if you're not going to answer, that's fine. We'll move on. I'm going to ask this one because I think Switzerland's interesting. Angie says, do they have any messages for the people in Switzerland? How far is the cleanup there?
So Georgie's connecting in now to our guides, the 9, and the Council of Zenae, otherwise known as the Andromedan Council of 9, who we've talked about earlier on other shows. Be a moment.
I'm just going to tell the viewers, I've been to Switzerland 3 or 4 times, and I've did seminars there, and it's an incredibly beautiful place, but my God, is it controlled? You can't, even when you're walking through the woods, everything's so bloody organized. It's ridiculous.
So first, I have the council here and our guides. So the first question is about Switzerland, was that right?
Yeah.
What's happening in Switzerland? So are you able to enlighten our viewers and our tribe a bit more about what's happening in Switzerland now, please, Council? Yes, we are. You can tell your viewers that Switzerland is on the way up to the 5th dimension. Now, it's going your way now, and it's going well.
The cleanup
in Switzerland.
Cool.
So, yes, it's been cleaned up and all is well.
Woo!
In Switzerland. So don't worry about anything. In Switzerland, you are on the way to the 5th dimension of Gaia.
Right.
So the answers come a little bit slowly because we're getting them using a pendulum and telepathy at the same time. So I sort of wait for them as well a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask you a personal question next. I'm going on a tour to the States on Wednesday for 35 days. Will it be okay?
Will it be okay for Mark to go 35 days in the States? Yes.
This could be very expensive, this question.
We always look after you, Mark.
I know you do.
So you will be fine. Just don't take too long off work because your viewers will miss you. So be quick and don't take too long away from working. We need you.
Oh God.
Okay, this one.
We need you to post videos regularly, please.
Okay.
To keep the people happy. and up to date.
Yeah, I was planning on doing a daily video diary anyway. So yeah, that's cool. Can you ask them if they can give me a lift so I don't have to spend 11 hours on Aer Lingus?
They said, yes, good idea. No, we can't.
Oh, thanks,
Sorry.
guys. Yeah. Brilliant. They do owe me one. Next question. There's a lot of questions in here about food shortages. I think people are starting to worry about that. They're seeing empty shelves around.
Right.
My personal opinion is that it's all part of the theatre, but I don't feel. I'm an apocalyptimist though. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. I was wondering what that said.
I am too. Yeah, I agree. So, food shortages. What would you like to tell our audience about food shortages possibly happening, Council? Yes. There are no food shortages coming soon. It's an apocalyptic. It's one of those, Mark. Apocalyptimist. Yes. That thing.
Yeah.
To think it's happening is to be in fear.
Yeah.
And it's not the best way to be in fear. So don't fear anything anymore, as you are all creating your instant reality.
Yep.
So don't think there will be food shortages and they won't happen.
Really? I just don't have to go to the supermarket, mate?
They're saying it's that simple.
Yeah, I've been saying this for a long time. I think all these things out there are designed to test our abilities in manifesting and getting through fear and getting to the right state. That's why I call it spiritual quarantine, because it's all a test. Everything's a test. And you guys watching this, you can all pass the test by going to the mountain of light inside you and looking for the answers there, clearing your pineal gland, getting contact with the stars and the ships. That's the way out of this. And we manifest it all.
Yep.
We're manifesting everything.
For our health too.
Yeah, no, if you guys watching this are not on my Telegram channel, go and get on my Telegram channel, right? And the link's below this video. And Ian Welch's affirmations go out every morning, every day. And just do them every day. And do your own, write your own.
And you know what? They're so timely, Mark, Ian Welch's, and a lot of our clients are telling us about that because they've watched your show and they've watched Ian and they are saying them daily. So it is getting out there, which is great. Yes. But we're also getting the same information from our guides and in our healing work that we're doing, and even just the readings. We're telling everyone we speak to speak to the cells of their body with love. And to heal yourself by talking to the cells of your body. It's so easy and it's so important to do. Just love them to death. That's what we're being told. And particularly, any troublesome parts of your body, talk to those cells. Say you've got bad knees, for example, talk to the cells of your knees. Lying in bed at night before you go to sleep, just tell them how much you love them unconditionally and ask them to heal with you.
It's got goosebumps.
To let go of all the past life traumas. Because that's what we're here to do right now. All of our tribe, all of these Zenae, Venusians, all the people that are here to help at the moment, we are healing now ourselves so that we're ready to help everyone else when the time comes soon.
Yeah, we've all got this ability. I first learned this from Stephen. He was called, this guy called the Barefoot Doctor. And he was like a guy from London, but he was like a Taoist. And Barefoot Doctor is what they used to have in the villages in China. It was usually a woman who would walk around barefoot, and everybody would go to her for healing, right? In thousands of years ago. So he called himself the Barefoot. He's passed on now, but I did a session with him about 10 years ago, and he taught me this. He taught me a few things. He taught me to talk to my organs and tell them that I loved them and thank them and all of this. And he taught me I'm going to tell you this story. He taught me this really powerful technique for increasing your psychic abilities, right? So he taught me to press just here, but on the side of the eye here, just press really hard there behind, just where that bone is there, and just hold it in for like 30 seconds. and then just here at the bottom of the skull, behind the ear, there, squeeze there for about 30 seconds. And then this V in the muscle here.
Oh, yes.
Just the V for Venus. And then you squeeze that there. And you do all three of those. And I did this about 10 years ago. I didn't think it would work, but I had this amazing psychic experience where I got the kids in the back of the car, and we were driving back to Manchester from a campsite, these geodesic domes down in the New Forest. And we got a phone call. And no, I was packing the bags, right? And I putting the bags into the car, and suddenly had this image in my head of a restaurant or a takeaway in Birmingham, really random, that I'd not been to for about 15 years, called Mr. Egg. I was like, it was so random. It actually made me stop.
Weird.
I know, it's really weird, right? I think I'd been to it once on a night out, and I remembered it because it served fried eggs at 3 a.m, which I thought was fantastic. So it's called Mr. Egg. And I was like, why the hell am I thinking about that? And it was really strong. And I was shook it off, put the things back in the back of the Volvo, and then started driving off. And then I got a phone call from the BBC. And at the time, I was running a skip hire business in the UK, and I was publisher of a magazine called Skip Hire Magazine. I know, made millions. Don't lie, made a lot of money. And that was an idea I had in the toilet in 2005 to create a magazine for the skip hire industry, and it's still going apparently. Anyway, I got a phone call from the BBC, and they wanted to interview me on Radio 1, which is like 8 million listeners, about this new tax the government were trying to bring in overnight, which was completely illegal, what they were trying to do. And it would have cost a fortune and for the British public. So I agreed to do this. And they said, right, you need to be at this place in Staffordshire by this time. And I said, yeah, we're going to do that. And anyway, they rung half an hour later to say, how are you getting on? I said, yeah, well, we're about here on the sat nav. And they said, look, can you divert to Birmingham? Right. And I said, yeah, okay, diverted to Birmingham. I went into the studio. There was a big Dalek there. I remember that. Went in. I argued with Lord Gummer for 10 minutes on the Jeremy Vine show. And then I came out. And then I got in the car and we drove to follow the sat nav. And then at the traffic lights, it said detour, turn right, not left. You can't go left. So we had to go right. And as we were going around the corner, I had this rush in my body. And then we passed Mr. Egg.
I was waiting for Mr. Egg to pop up.
There was Mr. Egg. And I was like, what the fuck? Because of this technique taught to me by
that's what
Barefoot Doctor. So if you're watching this, do this. Do it today. And, you know, if you have any amazing psychic experiences, come on the show and tell us, because it really works. Anyway,
I'm going to try it.
Right, back to questions. A lot of people are asking about Diana. I mentioned, you know, there's been going on since the beginning of this. Diana's alive, Michael Jackson's alive, Bob Joyce is Elvis, all this stuff going around.
Yeah.
You know, is any of it true? I mean, let's focus on Diana, because I think Alex Collier said the other day in a video, what if Diana turned up in the middle of the funeral? That would be, you know, all the cameras of the world. That would be fucking amazing, wouldn't it?
Oh, shit. I can't even begin. Out of this world.
So what do you want me to ask? What can you tell us about Diana? Is she still alive?
Is she going to show up? You know?
Yes.
Is she alive? Yes, she is.
She is still alive.
Yeah.
And yes, you will see her at the funeral. So she will be there in disguise.
Wow.
So you will need to look carefully to see her, but she will be there. Am I allowed to ask another question about this, about whether she will come back as a queen of some sort? Yes, she will. She is preparing to come back as Queen of England soon.
Ooh.
To lead the people to the new earth, Gaia.
Goodness me.
So be ready to see her soon.
How soon?
She's coming back.
Wouldn't
To
that
the
be lovely?
people of Earth soon.
Well,
That's not the first time I've had that information either.
I mean, I'll just say to the viewers, I'm just getting rushes, as you were saying, all of that, the multi-dimensional truth rush. But you know, I feel like she's still alive. It feels like she is.
Yeah,
I can't explain it any better than that.
yeah.
But do we need queens and do we need leaders? That's my question, because I don't think we don't need more queens and kings. We don't need presidents and prime ministers. Those days have got to go, haven't they?
They're saying to me, I said, do we need queens? I said, yes, she's going to be queen of the people, not queen of the world or a country. She's going to lead the people to peace and harmony and justice for all. So she's not going to be a traditional ruler. She's going to be the queen who represents the people, to heal the people of the UK and the world. So she is the perfect person to do this soon.
I think she is. Did you see the picture of, there's a video I put up recently showing Charles and Camilla. That's not Charles. Sausage fingers.
Sausage fingers.
Sausage fingered best friend of Jimmy Savile. Let us all remind ourselves of this. Walking past the flowers outside Buckingham Palace. And then next to that, it had the video of all the flowers that were there for Diana. And it was like mountains of flowers for Diana and like a couple of stragglers for the Queen, which I thought, you know, and I remember when, I mean, I think most of us that were alive when she allegedly died remember that day, remember where we were.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she really did capture. She was a very brave woman.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she was absolutely stunning human being.
Especially in her final years, wasn't she? Because she went through so much and had to keep quiet. And
I met her in 1984, and she was the thinnest person I'd ever met. She was like that.
Georgie's hand met her. You shook her hand.
I met her in 1985 when they came to Australia.
Yeah.
I was at the Australian Ballet School and she came on a very private tour that nobody knew about, even the students didn't know. And I was a first year student there, and all of a sudden all these security guards just turned up in the morning and they were going through the pianos and all sorts of stuff. And we thought, who are they? And then all of a sudden she came in and watched our class, and we all got to shake her hand at the end and meet her, and she blushed and she was just so beautiful. Her energy was so beautiful. So, yeah, I was very honoured and privileged to have that experience. I was just a 15-year-old.
I mean, was Diana a white hat operation from the beginning? Because that family had to be infiltrated. They're obsessed with breeding and all of that. Was it because, you know, she was most of the people that have gone into the royal family, like Fergie and Camilla, they're all evil from the beginning, but she obviously wasn't.
Would you like me to answer that question for you, Mark?
Yeah. What's your white hat?
Was Diana a white hat plant from the very beginning? Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
She was a white hat plant from her conception. It was planned from the beginning of her bloodline, which we know had reptilian blood. However, her DNA was created by God and placed within the Spencer bloodline to bring forth love and a change in their timeline for history to never experience this ugliness again. And through her life, this is exactly what she accomplished.
Yeah, I'd have thought that all sounds like science fiction a couple of years ago, but because of my experiences in the last few years, it resonates with me, and I've thought that for a long time intuitively, because this people don't realize how long this war's been going on.
Yeah,
they think it's just the last 2 years, isn't it? It's not. It's been going on way longer.
Yeah, it goes right back in our history. We've changed our history.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we're seeing that everywhere. Mandela effects everywhere. Everywhere. Right, let's crack on.
Crack on.
What else could Diana? I think, can we ask if there's anything major going to happen at the Queen's funeral?
Okay, so Council, is anything major going to occur at the Queen's funeral? We don't predict anything unusual occurring other than the Queen. The Queen died a very long time ago.
I was just going to say, other than the Queen not being in the coffin.
So apart from that, no. The answer is no. Is that correct, Council? Yes.
Just have to look for Diana in disguise. That's the only unusual
thing, I
think.
They're saying yes, she will be there. Very interesting.
Well, we'll be looking out for that. I'm going to ask this as well, staying with Diana. I don't know the answer to this, and I just see a lot of people asking it, and I don't even know if it's a good question, but is she Melania?
No.
No.
They're saying no.
Yeah.
No.
That's what I felt.
Please. Did you want more on that question, or is that a no sufficient?
No, that's fine. Okay. I don't know if you guys got any more questions to ask around the Melania Diana thing. Put it in the comments now, or forever hold your peace.
Melania is definitely a Venusian white hat. Correct. Yes, we're getting that. Diana, Venusian white hat. Mr. T, Venusian white hat, of course. We know that.
Can you just remind me of your website address?
Oh, yes.
www. You want us to say it? wisdomhealing.com.au.
Yeah, the reason I asked because I didn't put it in the description yet. I'll do it later. So if you want to get in touch with these guys, wisdomhealing.com.au.
That's it.
Right. Right. Yeah, the scare event. Now, 17 talked about scare event necessary.
Yes.
I think he said that in 2017. It's 5 years later. Me and my son both had a vision of a kind of a nuclear event about 18 months ago. And I sort of tentatively put it out there that I had this strong feeling about that. What is the scare event, and what's it going to be, and when's it going to be?
Okay, thank you. Council, what is the scare event that we are all talking about, please, firstly? Okay, this event is going to be nuclear in its nature. It is a false flag style event, and that will frighten millions of people that become invested in the story that the media is going to push and push and push very hard. This event we see building up to its inevitable implosion. So it's not going to happen. Is that correct? Yes, they won't actually happen. They're saying around the end of 2022. Is that correct? Around the end of this coming year.
That's soon.
Right. So there's going to be some kind of what were your other questions surrounding that, Mark?
When and
when
and what? So.
When and obviously between what countries or anything like that.
You know, any details would be interesting. By the way, if you're watching this, don't get hung up on these things. Live in the present moment. And I've been telling everyone, just don't be afraid of anything. But
yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah. For anyone who's only just tuned in, we were talking about that just before.
Okay, they're saying the two major countries that will engage in this false flag are Russia and the United States, including some involvement from China and the Ukraine. This business of frightening the people is necessary. They're saying it has to be this way for the asleep ones to finally jolt awake. They must be jolted out of this timeline they're residing in now. They're saying enough is enough. Wow.
Hear, hear.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, we're ready. We are ready. I'm really ready.
That's big news.
Is, and I resonate with all of that as well. A lot of people are asking the questions in Telegram and the chat here. Thomas Sheridan did a video recently about Atlantis, and there's a lot of people having dreams about tidal waves.
Oh, okay.
What are they?
Okay. Interesting question. People are having dreams about tidal waves. Council, can you please elaborate and give the people some information about this particular dream, please, and what it means? Yes. Okay, so tidal wave dreams are incoming dark energies that are ready to be transformed and let go through the person's mind and their body. It is a warning sign to begin the process of transformation within the body. They're saying, take heed when you receive a tidal wave dream, and do not hesitate in beginning your inner work.
Yeah, that's how I interpret it.
I don't even really remember what I just said then.
Do you want me
That's what happens sometimes. I go, what? No, I'm good. Okay. I'll do a couple more. Yeah.
Are we? This is a question from me. Are we turning crystalline from carbon, and what stage are we at?
Yes. Do you mean all of us or you?
All of us.
Okay.
I think it's individual.
We are. They're saying excited about this question mark. because we want to congratulate you firstly on your beautiful ascension, and how they're saying how lovely it has been to watch the change in your body's DNA to crystalline from carbon. We see the collective crystalline DNA strands at around 80%. So this means that the remaining 20% are having to be upgraded through much more personal inner work, healing of the untransformed programs that still remain, and also other programs that people are becoming aware of from their past lives. People are remembering their past lives so much easier now, and they're saying, and what a gift this is to be able to heal these past life, they call them bleeds. So they're saying, everyone, be aware of your daydreams and your dreams, because that is how we are sending the upgrade information to you, especially from your past life incarnations. Yeah.
Well, this is interesting. I had a QHT session about a month ago.
Right.
And I saw lots of past lives. And one of them, you'll like this, in one of them, I was in a 1950s suit in a 1950s hotel room in Las Vegas with a woman on the way to a meeting with American generals.
Really?
Wow.
So, wow. Do you want to know a little bit what was going on there?
I'd like to know too, if you had any.
Sorry?
Egyptian ones. Did you have any Egyptian ones?
I kind of did. I'll come back to that. But the previous past life before that one was, I was outside a ship, and this ship was like 200 miles long, and you could see all these levels to it and trees and lakes inside of it.
Oh, yes, you've spoken this before.
Yeah, and I went in there and I had a briefing with a load of people around the table, and then I was in this Las Vegas hotel room. And the woman that did it, Frances, I said to her, did I make all that up? She said, that's the thing with QHHT. Everybody thinks they've just made it up, but actually, it's not. But the Egyptian thing, it was kind of like a giant tower, right, with a door that was like 200 foot high, and it looked ancient and Egyptian, and all these black smoke demons were flooding out of it, millions of them, and I was just stood there like, you can't touch me. And then this being came out. It was about 200 foot tall, and I think it was Satan, because I've had a lot of run-ins with him over the years.
Gosh, yours was much juicier than ours. But we're getting Egypt coming up a lot. That's why I asked. We're getting that coming up a lot. We've both had past lives there too, and we're actually being encouraged to go there at the moment on a bit of a pilgrimage.
Well, I'm going to Egypt on Wednesday. It's now called the United States of America.
Is it?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, wow. Apparently Chicago's got a lot to do with it, but I don't know. Don't ask any questions on that. But,
was that right?
You know, this crystalline thing's really interesting, because in the last few weeks I've had a few superhuman experiences.
Okay.
Not just from myself, but other people. You know, just little things, subtle things. Like the other day, I sprinted to my car about 200 meters. I wasn't even out of breath. And I was like, this is weird. I'm 53. Like 2 years ago, I'd have been, and I just wasn't. And then in Morocco the other day, I was driving at night and I was doing about 50 miles an hour. And then a pack of dogs appeared in the road, literally. Somehow, when I had 3 passengers, somehow I weaved between all of them. Like the people in the car were like, how the fuck did you do that?
How did you drive like that, mate?
But we get that because we're so busy looking for spaceships when we drive. We don't even know how we get to where we're going without crashing.
I do that a lot. I'm always driving look like this. But no, but the thing is, the people in the car said, how did you do that? And I was like, I mean, I've got good reactions. I was a pilot, but fuck, this was like, I don't know how I got past it.
Maybe.
And then one of the girls I was with, she a glass got knocked off a table and she wasn't even looking, but her hand just went out and caught it like that, like Spider-Man. Like, how did you do that? She was like, do what? You know, all these little things.
We ask the council what's going on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I'll answer this, and Georgie can go after me after here. So what's going on with these quick response and quick response times and seemingly
Mark's superhuman abilities?
Yeah, powers, please, council. This is very interesting. He wasn't out of breath. They're saying, okay, this is another interesting question mark, and thank you for bringing it up. The increased abilities to run, and they're saying have these superhuman experiences are nothing more than the crystalline DNA activating. So when you use the muscles quickly and with a response time that is not your usual response time, this is the crystalline DNA activating within you. So it happens randomly, but also it happens when you activate the muscles of your body. They're saying, so when you go like, they're saying it's got something to do with the triggering of the muscle fibers. Is that right, Council? Yeah. So when your mind, brain, and body start working really quickly together, I think that's what they're trying to say. Does that make sense to you?
It does, actually.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, you had to get through that traffic, so you just, there was like a very quick reaction time that was thought of, but was also activated by the crystalline DNA all at the same time.
I had a client thought of who came in and said she had a near miss, really bad, like nearly a really bad car accident, and she did the same sort of thing. She did a big swerve around and saved herself and avoided this accident. And she said, I don't even know how I did it. I don't know how I didn't have a crash. So
sort of thing.
Very similar thing. Yeah, very quick reaction and got herself out of it.
Yeah, well, I've been noticing this for like 6 months or so, because there's a mountain here that I went up not long ago, and I remember going up it 2 years ago when I was knackered. I had to stop halfway up. I just ran up and ran down. It's like
wonderful. Yeah. So maybe they're encouraging people to get out there and exercise a bit more. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Get out in nature, definitely. So. That is interesting. I do think this, because the reason I find that interesting, I did a chat with Honey C. Golden, who talks to her higher self, and she said we're all going to notice. We're going to notice the crystalline when we get to about 80%.
Yeah.
until then, we're maybe just these little flashes.
So I guess, start noticing the subtle changes, everyone, or maybe not so subtle.
Yeah.
He's ready to ask another one if you want to go again.
I'll do one, and then they want me to hand back to you because I'm more tired than you are.
Oh, okay.
You had a lot, you know. Yeah, I know you're working hard.
I had coffee this afternoon. That's why
I had a very big afternoon.
Yeah, well, stupidly, I closed down Telegram, and I'm going to go and find the questions again.
Is Bob Joyce Elvis?
Oh, go on. Yeah, let's do that one. I'm going to go and see Bob Joyce.
Yes, he
Yes.
is. So get going.
Oh
yeah.
On the Elvis now.
Get on the Elvis train
I
now.
said, yes, he is. So get going on the Elvis train now.
So he never left the building?
No.
Love it.
Well, you know, if you watch Bob Joyce, it's amazing. And we're going to go and see. We're going to go to Arkansas and try and see him.
Oh, how wonderful!
Because I hope medbeds are true, so Elvis can de-age and carry on.
Oh,
yeah,
that would be great.
Didn't he? Not only was the most beautiful singer, and he just had the most beautiful name, didn't he? Elvis Presley. So handsome.
Yeah,
I think I've ever seen a male human that good looking ever.
No, apart from me, obviously.
Apart from you, Mark.
We were going to ask. I was going to ask a question about what that hotel room Las Vegas past life thing was.
Oh yeah, you happy to do that, Georgie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
when he was in Vegas.
Yeah, the QHHT that Mark did. Are we able to give him more information about that when he was in the hotel room in Vegas? Yes. He was in a hotel room in Vegas with the general of the American Army that's in the army of the war in Vietnam.
Wow.
Yes. It was the American general from the war in Vietnam that Mark was in another lifetime.
It was the 60s then, not the 50s.
Lived.
Oh.
So it was the 60s. Yes, Mark.
Maybe the suit was a really old.
And you were a general in the Vietnam War.
Goodness.
In that time, in that timeline. So yes, it's a different timeline to the previous Vietnam War. It's a new timeline of war in Vietnam. So in multidimensional lives, we live in different timelines to others in the history we know now. Yeah, so we break into multidimensional aspects of ourselves, and that can create other timelines. I think that's what they mean. Yes, that's right. So he was in a timeline that was in the Vietnam War in the 60s, but he was not in the war that we know now in our history on Earth. So it was in the timeline, he created himself.
Interesting.
To get into the Vietnam War, to change history. So he played an important role in changing the history on planet Earth to help with the new trajectory of the planet to a higher timeline, so we could save planet Earth from destruction.
Wow.
Is that right? Yes.
On a mission.
Yeah, you certainly were.
It's all in the cup. It's all in the cup. It says it right there.
And this is what we were talking about originally, about Zenae beings being able to travel in time and change trajectories of planets. Was that's what the council are doing. They're in charge of changing the trajectory of Earth to save the planet from what they knew was going to happen. So that means going back and living multiple lifetimes again here and changing the history and playing important roles to do that. Leadership kind of roles.
Yeah. So you would have been, sounds like you too you were also involved in that ship that you saw as well. So that part of you was also involved in that entire story too.
That's something Claire and I have been told we're going to be learning about next and talking about next is timeline stuff, isn't it? As in jumping, time travel. Oh, okay. They're going to talk to us about soon.
Great.
And that we do it all the time.
I've always been obsessed with time travel.
Yes. I had a client the other day who was actually very unwell because she would just time travel all the time. She does that, in this life now, and she's very ungrounded because that's what she just loves to do, but it was actually making her quite sick. So I think there's some people who just are in and out of their body a little bit too much. But that was an interesting client. Interesting healing, actually.
And I've become very aware of these timelines changing, shifting, and I've been interested to see the conclusion that I've come to about a lot of mediums and psychics out there with, incorrect predictions and things like this is that they're just tapping into different dimensions and different timelines that no longer exist.
Yeah. The same thing happens with names. Sometimes when people ask us for names, the guides get really confused because these beings are in so many multiple lives and dimensions and timelines at once that it's very difficult to call them a name when they've passed away, for example, from this particular timeline and lifetime, because they're playing different roles as different names all over the place.
People always want to know what can you tell us what our guides, my name of my guides, and they'll give the name of their group. Often, like they can be, the beings of light in God's awareness group or something like that. And it can be many things.
And that's not so confusing. It's more individuals, if you're talking about individuals and their names when they've passed away and they've moved on to other lifetimes, but they're already living so many multiple lifetimes. It's confusing.
No shit.
Especially here in the third dimension, third and fourth.
Yeah. I mean, every line.
I don't know, fourth.
Oh yeah,
in and out of third.
Yeah, every line that comes out of my mouth sounds like something out of a Doctor Who story.
Yeah.
We are wanderers in the fourth dimension. Yeah. I'm doing
a lot of our clients say, we've never said this. I've never said this to anyone before, but I'm just going to tell you. And then they tell me something. I go, oh yeah, that's nothing unusual at all.
No, great. Freya Collar has a question about Val Thor and Tesla.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was quite interesting. Are they the same soul, spirit, reincarnated? I think Tesla's still alive. That's my next question, actually.
All right. So could I just have the question? So, is that the question there from Freya Collar?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, my question about Tesla and Val Thor being the same soul, spirit, reincarnated. Council, would you have information on this? Yes. Are they the same soul reincarnated? They're saying yes. They're agreeing. They're agreeing. Yes, we feel that this is correct and true. Tesla is now acting as Val Thor in this reality, this timeline. We see Val Thor acting. It's more acting on behalf of Tesla. In fact, the entities are different, but Val Thor has taken on the they're saying their personal attributes, the intelligence, the human imprint of Tesla. Goodness me.
Yeah, because I'm hearing that Tesla's alive and he's in Mount Shasta and doing a lot of the. Where did I hear this from? Can't remember. Is Nikola Tesla still alive?
They're saying no. No. They're saying he is not alive. He is on the spirit side.
Well, that's okay. That's still alive as far as I'm concerned. We don't die. Right, this is a really, really, really important question. When can I order my flying car?
All right. Council, I hope you come up with an appropriately cool answer for Mark. When can Mark order his flying car? Thank you so much. This is crazy.
I'll put a deposit down today. Come on.
Okay, they're saying, thank you, Mark. We have received your request, and it is being discussed and debated on as we speak. Your request for such a luxury flying vehicle is also being discussed because the one you want is very expensive in human terms.
Yes, it is.
So you've already visualized it.
I have.
And they're saying we couldn't think of a more deserving recipient of this flying vehicle. So yes, they're saying it's yours, mate.
Great. Okay. Serious question time. Edinburgh, right? So there's been a lot of talk about Edinburgh being Jerusalem. Like I just said, the US is really Israel. Did I say that? No, Egypt. Sorry. Is it true that the city Edinburgh in Scotland was Jerusalem?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is true and correct. They're saying we didn't feel that this question would be asked this evening, but we are glad it has been asked, because this news will be received well from those who love Jesus, especially in Scotland. The true, this is rocking my world, the true birthplace of Christ was in the geographical location of Edinburgh. Is that correct? Yes, and I'm speaking to the council of yep.
Wow.
Yep.
It's blown me away.
Wow. So more information, or do you have any questions that have arisen from that?
There are lots of questions, yeah.
Yes, okay. The original birthplace of Christ is being thought of as in the geographical location of Nazareth, but in fact the original birthplace was in Edinburgh. This location is sacred, and this location is being hidden from the people. This information will become clearer as the years go by, and more information about this becomes available to the people. Goodness, hey.
Does that mean he fed the 5,000 with deep fried Mars bars and not fish and loaves?
Sorry.
You're Australian, you won't get that joke. Anybody Scottish watching this will get that joke.
I just want to say just something very quickly there. I don't want anyone to take that as I'm not. I love Jesus very much, and I'm also, as we discussed in the beginning, I'm taking the information, but I do not become attached to it. Okay, so if this is upsetting to anyone, just please take it, but don't become attached to it. Okay, because just go into your heart and feel how it feels for you. Okay, so
take what resonates, leave everything else behind. Don't get offended by anything, and if you don't like the show, turn it off and go and watch something else. Yeah, Carolyn Jankowski says there, Roslyn Chapel area. And I was going to mention that because the Roslyn Chapel's come up a lot recently with David Mahoney and Lucy Davis about the Stone of Destiny, but also, which is connected to Ireland, Scotland, the Queen, and why the alleged king just went and signed all that stuff in Scotland, which makes it all illegal and it's all fake, blah, blah, blah. But it's all connected to this. But also, I wanted to bring up the Scottish rite of the Freemasons. It's always interested me why Scotland is so important in Masonry.
Okay, what
and with the Knights Templar and etc.
Okay, could you tell us, please, Council, why Scotland is so important in relation to Masonry, Freemasonry, and the Knights Templar? Yes, this is because the country of Scotland is the birthplace of Christ. Yes, that's why. And they're saying, and because this is the very one person that they hate so very much, they began their evil doings in this exact location. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask you another question relating to the UK. Can they tell us what the connection is between Jesus and Manchester?
Yes. What is the connection between Jesus and Manchester, please? Okay, the city of Manchester is close to the birthplace of Christ, and therefore they're saying the ley line that runs between. Sorry, what's the question again? I'm sort of getting confused.
The connection between Jesus and Manchester.
Yeah, the connection between Jesus and Manchester. Okay, so they're saying it's close to where he was born, and there's a ley line there. What is important about this particular ley line in Manchester? Okay, they're saying it leads to his place of burial. It is a direct line to the place that he was buried. So Manchester is the beginning point, shall we say, to the ley line that runs to his, well, they're saying his grave.
Wow.
Interesting. Wow, this is pretty deep stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. We're learning a lot tonight too.
Quite nerve-wracking.
That's actually much deeper than you think, and I'll come back and tell you why in a couple of months.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, there's a question here from Bruna Simone. Could you please ask the twins how we can all avoid the trap of having to incarnate onto the Earth plane over and over again? Well, I think the reincarnation wheel has been dismantled, but I think that's an interesting question, actually.
Sure.
I've always felt like this is my last time here.
They're agreeing with you.
There's a lot of people that are feeling that way too.
Yeah. So how can we avoid the wheel of incarnation? Or is there more to the question? We'd like as much information as possible. Thank you. Go ahead. Humans in this dimension now, this dimension that we are all speaking on this evening, for example, can be made to feel relaxed in their knowing that that their incarnation, they're saying on this earth is coming to an end. The wheel of karma is slowing down. The wheel of karma is beginning to make its way out of Earth's atmosphere. They're saying the reincarnation wheel, they say that you call it, is ending. So there is no need for any instructions to guide you out of this.
Good to know.
That is great. I don't know what to pack for the next life.
Pack an Uzi, you'll be fine. Are any governments currently not under the control of the White Hats?
Are any governments of the world currently not under the control of the White Hats? No.
Good.
Oh, that's awesome.
I like the short answers.
Are you noticing too any media front people there where you are in Ireland that look very different suddenly?
I don't watch any media.
Yeah, we don't normally either, but occasionally there's something that pops up and I see it and I go, that person doesn't look the same anymore.
Well, I mean, where are they all coming from though? I mean, there's a lot of actors.
Yeah.
just feel like there's a few replacements there, and we noticed an ankle bracelet, a very obvious ankle bracelet on one particular one.
One of our 60 Minutes reporters and girls on the normal news, she's wearing an ankle bracelet, which is fantastic because we can't stand her. That's about as bitchy as we get.
No, I'm an apocalyptic optimist. I think things are going swimmingly well. It's just if you get bogged down in the drama, then so I keep saying the same thing. Just we're manifesting. Just
find it entertaining when I see pictures like that. It's like it's almost like candy, eating candy.
Well, there's a huge amount of comedy going on.
Yeah, that's right. Sausage fingers. I mean, who even thought of that one? That was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Memes of what got me through all of this. It's just been a hell of a lot of humour.
Yeah,
wonderful.
It is amazing. Right. So Lena Hellstrad said, "Is Sweden run by the USA?" Well, that's not, the White Hats are in control of all governments, and there's going to be a time where there's no countries and no borders, and all that's coming to an end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Georgie's back on it now.
On the wheel. Yeah, I'm just looking in the comments to see. I think we've got this nuclear scare event. Solar flash. Let's talk about solar flash. There's a lot of people saying that that's going to happen. Is that going to happen? And what's going to happen when it does, if it does?
Thank you.
Okay. So Council and the Nine, are we able to tell our viewers a bit more about the solar flash? About was it when did you say, or what's going to happen?
Is it going to happen?
Is it going to?
If it is, what's it going to do? Because my view is it's just going to upgrade our DNA like that. But
yeah,
they're saying yes, it is, but it's nothing to be scared of. It's actually something good that breaks everyone out of the matrix.
Yeah.
Here on Earth in the third and fourth dimensions. So it's the only way to break out of the matrix, and we have done this many times before too. As Zenae beings, we are very familiar with this process, so it's nothing to fear at all. And no one is left behind, so to speak. Only the ones who choose not to wake up will stay behind in the third and fourth dimensions on Earth. But it's not in their interest to fear this event, as it's their choice to stay, and it's only going to be in their best interest to be okay about their choice they've made.
Makes sense.
So they will stay and be fine here. It's nothing new to any of us from Zenae.
Okay.
So we've done it many times. I've already been told this as well. It's really just how we break out of these dimensions that we're in right now.
Sounds like we need a little push.
Yeah, and those who have chosen before they came here that they didn't want to wake up will continue the experience here in these dimensions. And I think we stay here too. Aspects of us stay here. So it's not like we all pop out of here and disappear out of their lives. It's just that we create another aspect of ourselves, I guess, another timeline. that we're
Well, that's
conscious
nice.
of.
That's nice and simple then.
Yeah.
I'm a Gemini. I've been told
Yeah.
I've got two heads, but
Do you want to know more about that? About what happens to us? As in, do we stay here too? Because everyone's very confused about that. So am I still connecting with the council and the 9? Okay. So are we able to explain in simple terms to everybody what happens to the versions of us that are in the 3rd and 4th dimension now? After the solar flash, does a version of us remain here? Yes, it does. And a new version of us goes to the 5th dimension on New Earth, Gaia, to start a new life of peace in the world. And we all come together in the end. So nobody should worry about losing their family or friends, because in the end, we are all in this together.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And we all end up on New Earth, Gaia, in the end.
What about Aurora?
So some choose to stay here in the 3rd and 4th dimensions, and some choose to leave earlier to go to the higher dimensions of Gaia, New Earth. So it's nothing to fear, just different timing for different beings.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So in the end, we are all together as one.
Good job, Georgie. Very tiring doing telepathy.
That's a perfect place to end it. We've nearly done 2 hours, and I like the positivity of that. Teresa, I'm not going to ask personal questions. Contact the girls yourself. What was it again?
wisdomhealing.com.au.
Excuse me.
We do sessions via Zoom for our international clients, of course. And if you live in Australia, you can find us in Melbourne, Australia, and come and see us face to face if you want.
Yeah, and if you want to know where they are, just look for the big spaceship, and then right underneath it, that's where they are.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, they were all out tonight on the way here.
Yeah,
nearly had a car accident. But my car angels are an absolute beauty.
Yeah, someone else drives for us now.
They must be on a lot of Valium, I tell you. The way they drive.
A bit slower.
No, they just have, they're very anxiety. It's a hugely stressful job.
Oh, okay.
Being my car angel.
Yeah, I think same for me. About 20 minutes ago, when you were doing something, there was a massive cloud out there that it was a red Indian guy just walking along like this. But I thought if you saw me staring off in the distance, that's what I was looking at. It's been lovely to chat to you both again. I've got to go because I'm going to do a show later and I'm going to eat something.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Sorry we were a bit late, but we just did not get that email. Sorry. We'll have to.
Yeah. All you guys watching, stop using Mercury in retrograde as an excuse. That's all.
Yeah, we had to get the Palo Santo out. No, we were freaking.
We got there in the end.
We did.
No, it's fine. It's all good. I enjoyed chatting for half an hour with with my guest not showing up. I really enjoyed that. It's great. Brilliant. It's great to see you both. And guys, just take what resonates. Don't get too bogged down in everything. Just go lightly. Go have fun.
Don't look at your marbles over it. Just stay in your heart and enjoy your life.
Yep.
Be good to people.
Yeah, it's all a bit of fun, and don't be in fear.
No.
Ever.
Yeah. Great. No. That's a perfect way to end it. Thank you. Take care. Give my love to Australia. I'll see you soon.
We'll do.
See you
Thanks,
later.
Mark.
Bye.
Bye.